Welcome to High IQ Investing. I'm Nicolo.
It is go time, people. Oh, I'm Connor.
Yeah, that's Connor as well. I just want to say good morning to the lovely people of Philadelphia and to our Syrian listener, Buenos tardes.
We also have to say hello to our first South African listener. And to you, I say, ¿Cómo estás los pantalones blancos? So we're going to get into this. We're just doing a little sound check. Nicolo, is it all good? We're all good? Yeah, use that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. They probably didn't hear me say hi to our first South African listener. South America? South Africa? South
same
something.
continent. Same continent.
To you I say, ¿Cómo estás el gimnasio blanco?
Hey.
Los pantalones.
Okay, now he's just showing off. I just want to run this by you guys again to recall we are not audio engineers. We are high IQ investors. So
intuition doesn't take care of the audio, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be IT. Anyway, today we got a lot of juicy takes for you, as always. And we are going to start with Market Watch.
Market Watch? Only time I watch the market this week is Movie Pass. I told you guys to invest in Movie Pass last week. I hope you're not angry at me. Market goes up, market goes down. Can't explain that one.
Right now it went down.
Can't explain that.
Can't explain it.
I mean, like, do we lose money sometimes? Sure. Occasionally.
Rarely.
Do we make money?
Yeah.
I mean, the jury's still out on that one, but...
Yeah. Look, if the jury almost convicted the innocent O.J. Simpson, the jury can give us the benefit of the doubt here, too. We are going to make you money.
Oh, boy. Okay, I'm just getting actually a text from one of our men in the field. Said that Robinhood just introduced options, so we're going to introduce that later. But I was just talking about Movie Pass. I don't know if I told Nicolo the story, but it's a pretty complicated one. So I was on Delta Airlines. Free movies, free TV, great business. Should have invested in them before I got on the plane. But I was completely invested in HMNY Movie Pass, which I told you guys to invest in last week. But that's neither here nor there. I was watching The Big Short on the plane. Great movie. I was feeling like a genius. By the end of it, I wanted to short the water market. But anyway, during the movie, main character, forget his name, he was down about, I think, 19% before he went to the moon.
Steve Carell?
Yeah, something
Michael
like
Scott.
that. Yeah. Down 19%, then went up 453%.
Jeez.
I get off the plane, boot up the hood. HMNY dropped 17% in 5 minutes.
2 more percent, you're about to go 400.
I needed 2 more percent, and
Jeez.
I would be on the ride of a lifetime. Unfortunately, it's dropped 30% now. I'm still waiting for the pop. But
now, I just want to say for our folks back at home, so the housing market went down 19, or at least Steve Carell's investment in the housing market went down 19 before it went up 400. That means if it goes down 40, as it did for Connor, he's going to go up
at least 12,000.
At least 12.
1,200?
Did you do that without a calculator?
1,200, 12,000.
You did that without a calculator, folks.
Without a calculator.
Yeah. So he's priced in. Honestly, right now it's too late to buy because it's not going to go any lower, and you're not going to get that rebound effect.
Yeah, it's called a reverse dip.
Yeah.
When it goes on a dip, it goes on the reverse dip.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet, but well, I haven't checked, but yeah, I think it's still going down. In fact, that just means the reverse dip will be even bigger.
It's a lot like if you've ever been on a trampoline, but someone forgot to install the springs and you jump on it and you're standing on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then by some act of God, the springs are there and you end up on the moon without a spacesuit.
Yeah.
Because you just weren't ready.
Yeah.
You just weren't ready.
Oh, boy. It's still dipping, guys.
You just
it's not
weren't
too
ready.
late to buy.
Weren't ready.
Not even a little bit.
You just weren't ready. Okay.
In fact, I'd argue that you were not ready.
That is an argument, and we will allow it. We're going to allow that argument. You heard it here first, folks.
Quick point.
Yeah,
I had a point, but back to Delta Airlines. I have reason to short Netflix this week. Delta had all the movies Netflix had, even some newer ones, and live TV. Netflix can't give you that. So my argument is Netflix now has a new competitor. You get the benefit of transporting yourself to different places.
Yeah, here's the thing. In 1 month from now, hell, 1 week from now, no one's going to be sitting on their bed Netflixing. People are just going to take Delta.
Yeah.
I mean, you
could pay Netflix every month and watch, or you could pay Delta and get a better selection,
and
better pizza,
you only have
Papa
to pay
John's.
Delta when you watch the movie. Netflix, you're paying all month, even if you're not watching a movie. Delta, you're only paying when you're watching.
Yep.
You'd have to be an idiot to give Netflix your money.
And if you want to juice a little extra value out of it, just don't get off the plane until they make you.
Yeah.
Until they drag you kicking and screaming.
Yeah, that's United. But, Delta probably lets you stay until the end of your movie, I'd wager, just because.
They didn't let me.
Folks oh, okay. Well, I've been wrong before. Not as wrong as Connor on Movie Pass, but I've been wrong before. Okay, next up on Market Watch. So this one's a little concerning. The last 2 weeks we've seen. Sorry, English is not our first language. That would be investing. We've seen Elon Musk do some wild things with his multiple companies, and this week he hasn't done anything. And I'd argue that's the most he's done. That's one of those it's a little too quiet situations.
Flying under the radar.
Yeah.
So they say.
I'm going to argue that right now is when we should be most concerned about Musk. Elon Musk, that is.
Yeah, Elon. He's definitely in his lair.
He's up to something. This is a lot like when you have been shopping at the Fresh Grocer of Philadelphia for 2 weeks and the instant mac and cheese has not gone on sale, and you're thinking to yourself, this is a little, should I be buying right now? This is overdue to go on sale. Mm-hmm. And you buy, and the next week, boom, $1 a box, 99 cents a box. Hell, I've seen it 98 cents a box.
Beautiful analogy.
Yeah, that's for all you, I can't expect every listener to be high IQ. We're here to share that with you. Mm-hmm. It's a gift, and we're here to share it with you.
Yeah, I wish I knew that analogy before I bought Movie Pass, but
yeah, that could have
neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. Certainly not here. All right, what else do we have on the market? Oh, this actually is one that I've seen around recently. This is more of a marketing strategy than any kind of price indication. But what we have is I saw an advertisement over the SEPTA. The SEPTA is Philadelphia's beautiful public transportation system. Mm-hmm. Really a piece of art, a modern-day Sistine Chapel, a contemporary Challenger shuttle.
If I could be an investor, I would be.
Yeah. So let me tell you what they're doing here. There is a vodka company that is advertising GMO-free vodka. So if you're wondering, vodka is typically unhealthy, tears families apart. But let me tell you, with this GMO elimination strategy, we might be looking at the second coming of the Lord Shiva.
This could bring families together.
This could actually, yeah. I mean, with GMO-free vodka, Dad's coming home from the bar, Mm-hmm. And this is huge. Because imagine the situation. You're at it's ladies' night, and, the wine bottles are flowing. What is that wine? Chobani? Carbonara?
Yeah.
So Connor and I, we don't really spend money. We just make it, so we don't know the names of these wines. But let me tell you what. You got Sharon, and she's feeling done for the night. She's got to drive home.
Sharon.
And Becky comes and she says,
"Oh boy,
she
short
says,
these names."
Hey, Sharon, have another drink. And Sharon goes, Becky, I'm driving tonight. I can't. And Sharon goes, she gives her that typical Sharon look. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
the chin tucks a little under, eyebrows raised, that sly smile, a little coy, if you will. And she says, but it's gluten-free. Oh, that changes everything. Did I say gluten? GMO? I don't know which one it is, but both are good for the market.
Doesn't matter. Either one.
GMO-free. It's GMO-free.
Your name's Sharon, Karen, Becky.
Yeah.
Any of those type of names?
Any of those names, and you are, the GMO vodka is, that's the pipeline right there.
the ticket?
And you know what? This is all part of the. They are taking advantage of public mood in America. The war on GMO, and quick history lesson here. I know our viewers are quite the Renaissance men and women. They like their history lessons. So I'm going to drop some knowledge on you as always. The war on GMO was started shortly after the war on drugs was ended by the Bush administration. Back in the early 2000s or late 1990s, sometime around there, the U.S. government ran this Operation Fast and Furious. That is really what it's called. And they supplied the drug cartels with crates and crates of machine guns. And a lot of you might be thinking, well, that seems counterintuitive because weren't they trying to kill the cartels? And yeah, that's true. But it turns out that the U.S. had a brief stint where it thought maybe they should level the playing field for the people in this jurisdiction. That ended with Fast and Furious. Now we're back to making sure that
Transformers 3.
Yeah, that's what we're getting back to. So the war on drugs ended. The war on GMO began as a cover-up to keep the Nazis preoccupied during the German occupation of Philadelphia during World War I. And now we have
one.
Was it the third one or the? Okay, so what happened in the first one? That was when Darth Maul was killing Qui-Gon Jinn, and the second one, the Nazis. Oh no! World War II was the one with the Nazis. No, because that was Anakin goes to the dark side in 3. There were Nazis. A lot of
That's
people
the
are
only
gonna,
certainty.
Yeah,
there were Nazis.
There were Nazis, and now there's
1, 2, 3.
Well, no, now there
3.5, 4.
It could have been 3.5. This is honestly probably one of those Lion King 1.5 things where they thought of it after and just put them into the history books because it is a great antagonist if you're going to make movies like Captain America and Inglourious Bastards. Without it, I mean, we'd be watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Twilight and The Vampire Diaries and 50 Shades of
Absolute trash.
New 50 Shades of Grey comes out today, doesn't it? I would short that.
Oh, it does.
I would short that.
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
I'm going to argue you should short that, and here's why. What you're thinking right now is that it's just like the other two. It's garbage. That's not why we're shorting it. Actually going to short it because I'm going to argue that 50 Shades of Grey 4, which will be affectionately named The Empire Strikes Back, is going to be the real boom. So save your money until next Valentine's Day.
There are a lot of lonely old women out there, though. So
there are.
I don't know if I can short that, but I can advise you not to go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'd like if you could pick it up yourself next time, but I am picking it up.
I'm putting down what you're picking up.
Okay. Yeah, that's disrespectful, but I'll allow it.
At the very least, disrespectful.
Speaking of shorts.
Speaking of disrespect.
Let's get into our America's favorite segment and Syria's second favorite segment based on the recent Gallup poll, longs and shorts.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we've already been doing that, but we can just continue, honestly. If you're a millennial, definitely, as a side note, long disrespect. Millennials and disrespect go together.
Bread and mayonnaise.
Orange juice.
And toothpaste.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so it is Lent today. What are we giving up? I'm giving up meat soon. Had a nice sausage sandwich this morning, but I'm giving it up soon. People give me the argument. If animals didn't want to be eaten, why they made a tasty food? And I'm like,
I've heard that.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I want to eat natural. Animals aren't natural.
I've also heard that.
Yeah, okay. Animals are just not, they weren't put on here by God, and I want to eat what's put on here by God. Cows, for example, they live on farms, I guess. Farms made of wood. Ever heard of them? Not natural. Wooden farms. Do you think God put that here?
Yeah, that is like saying that God put GMO. Same reason we avoid GMO.
Yeah.
Anything God didn't put on this green earth, we don't play with.
Yeah, it needs to be natural.
Marijuana, the devil's lettuce, no. Pigs, cows, unnatural.
Maybe if you find it in the wild, like an ostrich or something, because they don't live on farms. But anything that lives on a farm, I am not eating this year.
Yeah, that is not. Yeah.
Well, after today.
It's okay to get off to a rocky start. For example, if we think back to OJ's ambitious career,
Yep.
things weren't always great for him. But look at him now, out on parole.
Yeah. He's living it up.
Sometimes you get off to a rocky start. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I might walk into Arby's this
Might.
year and say, "Give me your meat."
You might. You really might.
Yeah. And I might slip up.
You might. But here's the thing. If you slip up, it's all part of God's plan.
Yeah.
So you can't even be mad.
It's natural,
It's natural.
at the very least.
At the very most, I'd argue.
And at the very most, it's artificial.
At the very least.
At the very least.
Keep in mind, Connor is no new face to the face of adversity. In fact, Connor grew up surrounded by adversity.
Mm-hmm.
He went
On the main line.
On the main line. Yeah, Connor grew up on the main line, which is a lot like the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania version of Long Island.
Yeah.
A lot of just people that face adversity day after day.
I think you've said it before. You don't choose that you're born white on the main line.
You don't choose it.
It's like being born in Africa.
Sometimes you just lose the lottery of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then Connor, it didn't stop there for Connor. It didn't stop with his birth. He had a hard time growing up. He attended the School of Hard Knocks, where he studied home economics.
Mm-hmm.
It was never easy for the man. It was never easy for him.
Not one easy moment.
Rocky start. Look at him now.
Look at me now.
Look at him now.
I'm a white male, still, at an Ivy League university.
At an Ivy League university, the School of Hard Knocks. Oh man, I tear up thinking about it. It's whenever you have this story of an underdog. You guys know how much I love underdogs. Whenever you have this story of the dog, who really everyone said he didn't have a shot. The doctors looked at him and shook their heads. His parents looked at him, shook their heads. Society looked at him and shook their collective head.
Hungry dogs run faster.
Hungry dogs run faster. And let me tell you.
Except for in Mike Vick's case.
So anyway, next up on the long short list, I'm going to tell you what. This one is kind of out of left field. I'm going to tell you to short cars.
I'd argue that's out of right field, but continue.
Either way, it's not out of center field, and I know our listeners expect an explanation, and that's fair. If someone came up to me on the sidewalk and said, to short cars, I would be thinking to myself, well, I already know it's genius, so that's a bad hypothetical. But someone else would be thinking, that's ridiculous. So yeah, I'll get you the explanation that you so rightly deserve. First of all, think about it. How long have cars been around?
Since dinosaurs?
Since dinosaurs. Well,
they're firmly ingrained in society, so why is their downfall imminent?
So yeah, that's more the question I was trying to get out of Connor, which is they are firmly ingrained in society. But let me explain to you. Cars are the way of the past. No one wants a car anymore, you know? People have the Uber. Why do you need cars when there's Uber? You know what I mean? And here's something else. Cars, perhaps one of the most pedestrian things I've ever seen. It's not hip to have a car. It's not cool to have a car. What do kids want? These hoverboards. Everyone wants the hoverboard.
And Uber.
And Uber. Between hoverboard and Uber, how is car supposed to compete? Yeah. This is why Ford is falling. This is why GM is falling. This is why Ford is falling again.
If I'm a millennial in a sticky situation,
yeah,
I can Uber out of there.
Yeah.
Someone wants to fight me, boot up Uber, Uber out of there.
Uber out.
I have a test, didn't study for it, Uber out of there.
Uber. If people were taking cabs, that would be one thing, but no one's using cars if they're using Uber. And let me tell you something else. The value of cars, don't take my word for it. Look at Elon Musk. They're so worthless, he shot one into space. You know?
You can spare that one, you can spare the rest.
When I was a kid, you used to put weather balloons in space. But now balloons are worth more than cars. So and that's not because the price of a balloon has gone up. Believe me, you still get them at the dollar store.
Believe you me.
But even Tesla Roadster, one of the nicest cars they got, so worthless they shot it into space. So
yeah, you can
ask
spare
me again why you should short cars. Ask me again.
Why? Oh, he doesn't have an answer for you.
That was a bluff. So a lot of times in the market, you got to make bluffs, and a lot of the times people are going to call your bluffs. I actually laid out all my reasons to short cars. Connor, you got anything for us?
Do I have anything?
Actually,
let me check the list. I do have some short longs.
In the meantime, I actually want to run one more.
Whenever we have a down moment, I can introduce our new market concept. But
that's true. But this one's actually a hot one, and I don't know if the price is going to be right in 10 minutes, so I want to get it out now.
Okay.
This is a long position. So this one is one you could just jump in on Robinhood. I'm going to say to our listeners, long prison.
Okay.
So, yeah, this one also is out of right field.
Misguided, yeah.
Left field. Misguided. Maybe misguided in principle, but in terms of practicality, you can't get better value than to long prison. And let me explain to you why. Just yesterday, I was watching this really touching documentary on Netflix about American prisons called Orange is the New Black. And it really
Doesn't
spoke
make
to
any
me.
types of sense.
That's what I thought. I always thought prison must be awful. That's why we're doing this show instead of being locked up for insider trading, because we took community service over prison sentence. Big mistake, because I watched this documentary, and Connor, prison is not that bad. It's not that. Think about it. How much did you pay for your breakfast sandwich this morning?
$4. How much do they pay?
$0. They pay $0 and 0 cents.
Infinite returns.
That's American dollars.
Yeah, and they're useless anyway, but...
So, I mean, that is true. The U.S. dollar is not a real currency. Well, let's not worry about that right now. They pay 0 Bitcoin, too. Does that help? So they pay nothing. Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you're getting infinite returns on the stock market this month, you could be getting 10%, 12%. Infinite is always more than 12, no matter how you spin it.
Strictly greater than.
Yeah. Even if you take into account the Coriolis effect, infinite is always greater than 12. So write that in your lunchbox and tell me not to long prison, because you won't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that for sure,
So
even though it was misguided to start off with.
To start, yeah. So, Connor, you had a new pitch for us, and I was a little curious about it.
I have another long before I explain our new market concept.
Sure.
So I'm going to long a little thing called sleep exorcisms that I have most nights. My roommate hears me screaming in my sleep. Sorry. He hears me screaming in my sleep. And when you lose a little bit of money on the market, when you lose a little bit of money, maybe you invest in HMNY last week when I told you to, you want to get over that, just let it all out in your sleep. When the market is giving it to you dirty, when the market is like scraping a completely used deodorant stick all over your body, just the plastic.
Oh.
When it's really doing it to you, just get it all out in your sleep. It works really well for me. If you listen to my advice, listen to that advice.
Yeah, it's a little like hot yoga, but you save money by not signing up for hot yoga.
Yeah.
All right. That's
okay. Let's leave that one behind.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we got a little bit of feedback last week. We want more real market investing tips, like real investing tips. I thought that's all we were giving people, but
yeah, apparently, let me put it to you this way: a lot of people are less interested in the news and more interested in making money. So that's what Connor is about to pitch some real talk investment principle for you right now.
Yep. So Robinhood just introduced options. My friend just got approved. So we're going to break down options for you guys. I did some background research this morning when I was in the shower. Went down into the history of options. So options are made up of calls and puts, okay? Now listen closely. And Nicolo, don't correct me if I'm wrong. Calls are, that's where the history comes in. Back in the day, you used to have to call up your brokerage when you want to sell. You think your stock's going to go down. You want to sell it. You call up your brokerage. You call up Robinhood and say, please sell this stock. I don't want it anymore. It's going down. So options, if you think something's going to go down, you buy a bunch of calls. Okay? Now we got puts. Puts is when you want to put all of your money on something. It's a solid investment, and you think it's going to go up. So that's why it's called puts. That's how you can remember it. Pretty simple, pretty standard, fairly standard stuff.
I would say it's a pretty medium IQ concept.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the concept. You guys can just take it and run with it once you get approved on Robinhood.
Yeah. All right, that was easy. Now, that concludes our education segment. we will go back to giving
Thank God.
some high IQ. Yeah. Ooh, okay, here's the thing. Connor and I don't have our teaching certification in Pennsylvania, or any state for that matter, but definitely not Pennsylvania.
So we're kind of going off the
That was
grid
off the
when
book.
we.
Yeah, a little. We're going off the reservation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to go back to the reservation, and we are going to go to Syria's favorite segment and America's second favorite segment, Crypto Corner. And today, unlike past weeks, we actually have some new takes on crypto. Things have changed. Crypto is back. It did what we call the Big Sean maneuver. It took an L, and now it has bounced back. It has bounced back. Crypto woke up in beast mode. I'm not just talking Bitcoin. I'm talking about the big household names like Stellar Lumens and Garlic Coin. So crypto's hot right now. And let me tell you something. Because of that, I think it's time to buy. You always want to buy this stuff high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You always want to buy it high because that means it's worth something.
It's going to go higher.
If it goes high, yeah. It's I don't know if you've ever heard the Wiz Khalifa song Toxic, but too high can't come down. You know, that part.
That was beautiful.
So this is... Crypto is too high. It cannot come down. Even if the fire department comes with a ladder to get it out of the tree, it's just going to run higher.
Yeah.
So let me hit you with it. I'm going to kick it right straight on crypto. There has never been a better or easier time to buy crypto. I mean, imagine how hard it must have been to buy crypto before we had computers. That was probably a pain in the neck. But I'm going to tell you right here, right now, live on the radio, how to buy crypto, the easiest way we know. Okay, really simple, really straightforward.
Nice
don't
YouTube
even
tutorial.
put the pencil. I see that. Put the pencil away. You don't need it. No, the notebook too. Phones down. Phones. Thank you. This is how you buy crypto. First, you look through your credit cards. If any of them are not MasterCard, Visa, or Discover, you'll be allowed to use them to buy crypto on the internet. So put away all those big names. I want you to take out the Diners Club International. That's the silver. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, take that out. And you go to Coinbase.com and you make an account. Make sure your password is very secure. I want special characters. I want capitals. I want numbers. I want hieroglyphics. I want cuneiform.
I want wingdings.
That wingdings actually is one of, so we also do a little computer science on the side. And let me tell you, to this day, the best form of encryption, it used to be SHA 256, but now they're using wingdings. They're just highlight everything, drop down the font menu, check wingdings. No better encryption.
High IQ.
We're off topic though. Let me get back to the crypto. So you make your password. You go on Coinbase.com, and then for a low fee of 4%, and that's nothing because you're going to make so much money. You put in all your credit card information, and you get your crypto. And in 1 week, they'll even allow you to spend it and trade it how you want. So after that week goes by, you log on to GDAX. GDAX.com. GDAX is a crypto exchange, and you just have to take a picture of your driver's license and your face, and after a few days, you'll be able to use GDAX, and you transfer all your Ethereum or Bitcoin, wherever you bought on Coinbase, to GDAX. So now your money is there. Like I said, really simple.
You already have more money than you had before.
Because crypto went up. Because crypto went up. So you're making money while this is happening, by the way. Don't feel like you're not, because that would be incorrect, because you are. So after that, you're going to want to go to Binance.com. That's Binance. It's French. It's French for finance of cryptocurrencies. Binance.com. And on Binance, you're going to also make an account, also with a complicated password, and you are going to transfer your Ethereum or Bitcoin to Binance. On Binance, you are going to buy a small amount of Binance coin. That way you can cover the transaction fees using their native coin. And then you are going to turn your Ethereum or Bitcoin into some coin that no one has ever heard of, and that transaction will be paid for using Binance coin, and boom, Bob's your uncle. So, like I said, I hope you didn't write any of that down, because it's really straightforward, intuitive, highly intuitive.
In fact, the crypto market is so good, I'd argue that you should take out money on credit before you put it in.
Yeah, go to your bank. So add one step to the beginning. So step 1 has now become step 4. The first thing you do is you make a shell company. Then you go to the bank and take out a line of credit with your shell company as collateral. And then with that line of credit, you buy more Bitcoin.
Yeah, and well, I'm not one to deal in meaningless hypotheticals, but say you lose all that money that you took out on credit. I'm going to quote, what a wise man once said, Bernie Madoff. If you owe the bank 100,000, you got a problem. If you owe the bank 100 million, the bank has a problem.
Yeah. So really, it's the bank's problem. It's a meaningless hypothetical to begin with. But here's the other thing: if you're in prison, you don't have to pay your debts. It's that easy.
Oh yeah, the bank's gonna send you to prison. You're like, oh okay, all right, get free meals.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, joke's on the bank. Joke's always on the bank. I mean, if you're coming straight out of high IQ investing school of wizardry,
If you've ever watched The Big Short,
the bank works for you.
yeah,
The bank works for you. The bank doesn't ask you to hold on to its money. You tell the bank to hold on to your money. Remember who's the boss in this situation. It's a really interesting power dynamic. A lot of books written on it.
ever heard the "You're Not the Boss of Me" song?
Yeah. That's
you can sing that when you walk to the bank.
that's about banks in the first place. Interesting history lesson on the emergence of banks. Banks were invented also during World War II as a distraction to keep the Nazis occupied during the German occupation of Philadelphia. And it turned out that banks had a actual legitimate purpose, which is to hold on to your money and keep it safe for you and actually loan you money so that you can get rich on crypto. So that concludes our Crypto Corner segment for today. I hope you have all those accounts made, and by this time next week, I guess I could say goodbye to you now because you're going to be so wealthy you probably won't need the high IQ investing. But in case you didn't invest
come back
in crypto,
and listen in anyway.
Yeah, you can always make more money. The government says you're allowed to make what, like $100 million a year? That's how much you're allowed to make in America?
At least.
Is that how that works? Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
It works something like that.
This just in. I'm in trouble.
What's that?
HMNY is still going down.
Okay.
So I'm going to need to do some shilling.
Listen closely, everyone. This is textbook capital gains loss avoidance strategy. What Connor is doing right now is one of the smartest moves on Wall Street. This comes out of the Obama era income tax and capital gains tax era, which is where when you make money investing, you have to pay taxes. And we will say this time and time again. If we said it a million times, we've said it once, and we've said it at least twice, which is you want to lose a little money to avoid paying those taxes.
The more you lose, the better.
The more you lose, the more you win, really. Government can't take your money if you don't have any.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. And I actually have an argument specifically for MoviePass.
Okay.
Why you guys should buy it. Pump up the price a little bit. How much does a movie cost nowadays?
A movie costs, well, here's the thing. Are you doing the whole thing? Are you doing the popcorn, the cola, or are you skimping out and just going to the movie?
This is a quick In-N-Out yob.
Okay. Well, I'll put it at $11 on Discount Tuesday. Sure. $11.
Perfect. A share of MoviePass is now $5.50.
Well,
so,
wait, you're telling me I can buy 2 movie passes for the price of 1 movie ticket?
Well, that's one way I could put it. Or you could buy the real MoviePass. I mean, they just put a discount on that because they're struggling for subscriptions. $8 a month or something. I don't know. It's basically free.
$8 a month. Think about this. That is how much you probably spend on things that sum up to $8 every month.
Yeah. So you buy that, basically free. You can forget about it.
They're paying you. I haven't figured out how the dynamic works, but they are paying you.
Every movie you see, at least $11 on Discount Tuesday, you buy 2 more shares.
Yeah. Instead of
you broke even. You're just at 0 at that point. I mean, say I hypothetically lost a few $100s on this. Every $11 I lose, I buy 2 more shares.
Yeah, that's.
Oh wait, is that how that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. And worst case scenario is that you make too much money. Is the worst case scenario.
Pretty bad scenario because then you're gonna have to pay taxes. But
yeah. Speaking of making too much money, a quick message from one of our favorite sponsors. This broadcast is proudly brought to you in part by Papa John's. And today only, we have a special Valentine's Day promotion at Papa John's. If you tweet at Papa John's with hashtag HighIQ Valentine's Day, you can get 80% off on any large pizza. Today only at participating restaurants. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Now, something I want to say about that
extra sausage
is
too.
we haven't checked which restaurants are participating. but we can only assume all of them are.
Also, we're shorting veganism. Longing veganism.
Longing veganism.
Only vegan pizzas will be accepted.
Yeah.
I think.
So that's the bread.
Also, back to Delta Airlines, our message is spreading. I saw at least 2 TVs on the flight with a big old Papa John's commercial. We're doing the Lord's work.
What is going on out there? I mean, you take this little company, this underdog. Y'all know how much we love underdogs.
Underdogs run.
Oh, underdogs run fast. And let me tell you, you take this little company, Papa John's, no-name company, no one's ever heard of it. Last week, you asked someone what Papa John's is, they look at you like you're crazy. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing Papa John's get the Lord's message out on a Delta aircraft.
Long Delta. I mean, Delta is now a competitor to MoviePass.
Netflix.
A competitor to Netflix.
Competitor to Netflix.
Don't correct me when I'm wrong. And also an investor in Domino's. Papa John's.
Yeah, Papa John's.
Probably both.
Honestly, when you're a company as financially smart as Delta, there's no way you're putting all your eggs in one basket because you're vegan.
No types.
You don't have eggs in any of your baskets. You don't even have baskets. That just doesn't make economic sense. What you have is not baskets. It's what you have. It's what you don't have, actually.
Oh, we have quite a few listeners today. You see all these 127 listeners?
That's how you.
It's not quite as diverse as our normal listeners, but shout out to the 127s.
Yeah, 127s out there. We feel you. Welcome home.
We feel you, but not
and
hit us
to
with
our
the sexual harassment allegations.
We're in this box. We're not doing anything. And to our one Syrian listener, who I see has been on for almost the duration of the show, really, you are a mystery wrapped in an enigma, and you are probably the richest man, woman, or, I don't want to make any assumptions. It's 2017.
Yep.
Whatever you are the richest one of that in Syria, no doubt. And you might be thanking us, but we want to thank you. We want to say a big old-fashioned gracias to you. You have done so much for this radio show.
¿Cómo estás? Días de los Muertos.
Yeah, that one's out. That's for the fans. We actually, speaking of fans, we will be selling merchandise at cost in the near future.
Really?
So, yeah, I just heard Papa John's is helping us with that.
Oh, boy, I can't wait for that one.
So.
Speaking of just news on the show, I've been working day and night, long hours to get the podcast out on YouTube. So that will be going
What's the
soon.
progress with that?
Essentially, so my last deadline was last weekend, so next deadline is this weekend, and I'll keep blowing through those deadlines until I get around to it.
That's amazing.
I'll be working day and night.
This is now a meta game, because if sometime in the future you are listening to this podcast on YouTube and not live on the air, welcome from the past. Buy MoviePass.
Yep.
Message from the past. Buy MoviePass.
Always good advice.
So, yeah, that's how the time thing works. If you listen to in the future and we give you a message from the past. Yeah, buy MoviePass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exponential growth. Let me open the math textbook for you and explain how exponential growth works. One day, you walk into your favorite value, delicious, nutritious supermarket, and you walk in there, and what you do is you just peruse the aisles, you see what's good, a little pasta sauce here, a little bit of yogurt here, maybe some sourdough bread, right? You start with that. And then you liked it so much that next week you come back, you get 4 of those yogurts. You get a couple sourdough breads. The generic Oreos weren't so good. You don't get any of those. But You know what I'm saying. Then the next week comes and you recommend it to your friends and they come with you. You Uber down with them. And next thing you know, you're checking out 16 sourdoughs. Even your friend, the generic Oreos weren't that good, but your friends like them. They're getting 4 or 5 of those. Lots of
saving money on that Uber now.
You're saving money on that Uber. And what you are witnessing is not the wrath of God, but exponential growth. Mm-hmm. Commonly confused, but there's a little divide between the two.
It's like when a couple numbers get together and make sweet love.
Yeah, it's really a miracle of modern mathematics, if you
Medicine,
will.
yep.
And if you won't, that's okay. We're not gonna make
We
you
don't
do math
force
here.
you to believe high intuition.
Yeah, intuition
Just in your best interest.
is just like that. It's just in your best interest. We're not gonna shove it down your throat. But it's something that if you can stomach intuition, then you ought to pick it up and do some investing.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yep, write that in your lunchbox. Okay, our next segment is Syria's third favorite segment and is actually unranked in the Americas, both north and south. It is,
What is it?
well,
Do we have any more segments?
this explains why it's unranked in America. Only ranked in Syria because it was under potpourri,
Yeah.
which
we
is
kind of abandoned all of our.
Spanish for miscellaneous. And what we're going to talk about in this miscellaneous segment is the miscellany, if you will,
Favorite segment.
of the stock market. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to boot up Robinhood. If you don't have Robinhood, I don't know why you're listening to the show because you are missing out on opportunity to make a lot of money. We're going to boot up
Before
Robinhood.
we forget it, we still have our OZM segment.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. We are going to buy OZM. That's going to happen a little later today just because OZM is on its way down and we want to buy it at the bottom of the dip. We're going to walk you through a high investment IQ portfolio right now. We're holding 3 parts AMD, 17 parts Chem, 4 parts GD, 1 part BR, and 2 parts OZM. And let me walk you through that in a little more detail. AMD,
Beautiful.
if you've ever heard of Lay's, Frito-Lay, AMD is also a chip manufacturer.
Direct competitor.
Direct competitor. Now, these chips aren't salty. They aren't made with potatoes. They are made with silicon, which is allegedly healthier and 0 calorie for humans. So I'm going to argue that AMD overtakes Frito-Lay easily. Next, we got Chem. Chem makes capacitors, and capacitors hold charges. Last person to try to hold charges was Aaron Hernandez, and he's dead. So we take Chem over Aaron Hernandez, and as a matter of fact, Chem is up 2% today. Next is GD. That's short for General Dynamics, which sounds like physics. Its competitor, Lockheed Martin, that just sounds British. We take physics over the Brits any day of the week. That's GD up 1% today. Next, we have BR. That is short for Broadridge. Its competitor is Narrow Ridge, and that one is self-explanatory. And finally, OZM, the only stock we are holding that is down for the day. And right now, live on the air, we are about to do our segment of buying a share of OZM. All right? So right now, OZM is trading at 236. The first time we did this segment, it was trading at 250. The second time, it was trading at 247. And honestly, it just keeps going down. But I have a feeling, I have a good feeling. And here's the interesting thing. It always shoots up on Wednesdays. It's like they know about the broadcast.
Buy Tuesdays.
We should buy
Sell
Tuesdays,
Fridays.
but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy OZM live and on the air, $2.36. That's the buy button. I'd like 1 share, please. And I'm going to confirm that and send the order to the market. Let's see. Oh, the market got my invitation and executed. We have just bought 1 share of OZM
Beautiful
for
company.
$2.36.
I might die if I try to pronounce it, but Zif Capital Management.
That's the one. Very, very German company, and that's how you know it's efficient.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy any company that's not German.
Very hard to pronounce. I'm going to have to drink some water after that one.
Yeah.
All right. I could read through my portfolio. We are 100% diverse, like Nicolo likes to say.
Yeah, Connor,
Like a
what's
liberal
give me
arts
the
institution.
entire list of stocks in your portfolio.
We have a little stock called HMNY.
That's Humans of New York.
Ever heard of it?
How I Met Your
Humans
Mother.
of New York. That you're quick on the draw. Okay,
like to be.
so I guess Robinhood is It says my portfolio diversity is at 99.9.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, what's
that's
your holdout?
a little bit racist.
Yeah, that's
I actually don't have anything else. Anyway,
okay.
yeah, that's about it for my portfolio.
That's a little peculiar, don't you think?
Yeah.
99.9% homogenous, and you gotta wonder, what is that 0.1 if not MoviePass? Now I speculate, and this is just a speculation, so don't write this one down. You didn't hear it here. I speculate that Robinhood is doing something little sketchy in the shadows here.
I would agree.
I would argue that for every 100 shares of MoviePass that you own, Robinhood goes off and decides to buy a share of Macy's,
Boscov's,
Costco,
Walmart,
Target.
Trader Joe's.
It goes on. And I hypothesize this only because Robinhood is it's a lot like this. When you go to the CVS and you see this what is it called? Dayquil? Dayquil's Dayquil by Vicks. And you see that $16. And that's pretty expensive, but that's the price you'll pay not to have cold symptoms. And you're about to grab it, and off to the side, you see CVS back alley cold medicine. And you say, well, why would I ever buy that? And then you see the price, and you say, that's why I would buy that.
Uh-huh.
That's a little like what Robinhood likes to do.
Yep.
I mean, like...
The back alley cold medicine is kind of like HMNY, and then my whole watch list is green, except for HMNY, but that's why it's not on my watch list. And it's all green, so it looks good, but that's the Vicks.
Yeah.
That's the overpriced stuff.
Exactly.
If you want the deals, don't look at the watch list. Look at what you're holding.
Let me give you guys a little bit of a rundown on what a watch list is. I know that might be a new term for a lot of you. A watch list is what you wish you would have bought, but you didn't because it was too expensive, and it does well. And a portfolio is what you did buy, and it's always red.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit like when you're sitting in class and you're high IQ, so you know it's going to come to you. You're going to do well, but you get that exam back.
Teacher.
You're smarter than your teacher, but the exam doesn't show it. The exam is showing you maybe 50, 55 out of 100, and you think, well, that's bullocks. Like I knew what I was doing. And the kid next to you, pretty dumb, 98, 99. And you're okay with that. That's your watch list right there. That's your yeah, it did well, but you're still
you're at the equilibrium point.
Yeah,
if you will.
Let me come down on y'all with a little game theory. John Nash was a philosopher, anthropologist, but first and foremost a botanist. But second and foremost, what he won the Nobel Prize in Peace for was his economics. The concept of the Nash equilibrium.
I'm very, very negative on economics. It's a short position, but
yeah, I would short economics. But let me walk you through this because I think what we can get out of this is a lot of money. So a Nash equilibrium occurs when everyone has decided on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no one can make a move to make more money without someone losing money. If the whole world is invested in MoviePass, that's a Nash equilibrium. And I'm going to argue that there will come a day when the only stock that has a market cap above zero is MoviePass. Do you see how that works?
People are going to be going to the movies. I mean, simple as that.
Always. People always go to the movies.
And if they don't have money, they buy MoviePass and go to the movies.
You buy MoviePass. I mean, the government is going to stop doing Medicare, Medicaid. They're going to just start. The only safety net is going to be MoviePass. If you can't afford a MoviePass, the government will provide one for you. You know, you're convicted of a crime. No government-sponsored lawyer. You get MoviePass.
Niklo's very firm on the fact to keep the government out of my Medicare, but keep the government in my MoviePass.
Because there are certain things in the Constitution that suggest that the government has an innate responsibility to make sure all the citizens of these United States of America and Syria, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be exclusive, but right now we're talking to American listeners, that the government has this innate obligation to ensure that its people are provided for.
Yeah,
and
what better way?
What better way?
What better way?
And don't make this founders' intent argument with me. The founders, no idea they could have known that movies would be such a hit. Back when they signed the Declaration of Constitution, movies were just starting, you know?
Yeah, people were shorting movies left and right. They were like, black and white. You got to be kidding me. I could just go outside and see in black and white.
Yeah.
Back in the old days.
Everything was black and white back then.
Yeah, it's the same thing as going outside. And then, what do you know? Turn it to color.
Without Disney and that early animated movie Anastasia, we'd still be seeing in black and white. So I'm going to say long Disney.
That's It's a bit of a jump, but I can get.
Well,
down
what are
with
the
that
cons?
one.
Give me the cons.
The cons.
Michael Vick, Aaron Hernandez. Give me the cons.
The cons.
Yeah, that's what I asked for.
Cons.
See,
Well,
what you're hearing right now? No. I gave you a fair amount of time. No cons. What does that tell you? Buy Disney. Connor, can you look
no
up the ticker? See how
cons.
Disney is doing?
Yeah. No cons
No
means
cons.
no prison.
The thing is,
And
think
we
of
are longing
no prison.
prison.
Okay, yeah, fine, but you can long more than one thing.
Okay.
Here's the
Disney.
fact. Here, have that Disney up, and I'm going to ask you for it in a second. But in the meantime, think about why companies go down. There's really only one reason. It's when the person in charge gets convicted with some kind of felony, right? Like Stephen Wynn with the sexual harassment claims and sexual assault claims tanked. But listen to this. Disney,
Like an
Walt Disney
allocation.
is dead. He's not getting convicted of anything.
Oh, yeah, that's a loophole.
So Disney can't go down.
Disney is actually bottoming out right now.
Oh. Well,
You're going to want to buy.
yeah.
It was just at 110.
With
Now it's
Walt
at 103.
Disney's recent passing away,
Look
it's
at
a
that
great
last
time to
month's
buy.
graph.
Oh, boy.
It's about to go on
folks,
a reverse dip.
you heard it here first,
Just went up 5 cents.
and I'm going to repeat it again so we can argue you also heard it here second. You are going to want to buy Disney right now.
Yeah.
If you are illiquid, if all your money is in good stocks like MoviePass and AMD, you are going to want to pass up on groceries this week, $110 worth, and buy a share of Disney.
Yep. The fact of the matter is, Disney's going on a reverse dip. It's going up.
It's a reverse dip. I
And
mean,
the opinion of the matter is, don't buy groceries this week.
yeah, it's really first grade. Let me run you by some arithmetic, okay?
Oh, boy.
$110.
I've never
You start with
looked at arithmetic.
$110. The stock goes up $100. Now you have $210, right? You gave up groceries for 1 week, and now you have groceries for a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's stock market
That's arithmetic.
arithmetic. Not quite stock market physics. I'm not trying to run any fancy numbers by you. I'm not talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
kinetic energy. I'm not talking about the Coriolis effect. I'm just saying
Stock market physics.
100 plus 100 is always going to be 200. It stands the test of time.
1 + 1 is fish.
Stands the test of time.
I mean, we have a few minutes left. Did we start early today?
We started right on 11 today. We
Okay,
started
I mean,
11 on the nose. So
We can run through the news unless you have.
yeah,
another
no, let's do
segment.
that. We're going to spend the last few minutes here running through the news and spitting some takes on y'all, seeing what we think. This is
I mean,
Livening
the
color.
idea is to make money.
yeah. So Connor, what
I'll tell you one guy who's not making money.
It-
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul?
Ever heard of him?
Yeah, he's an infamous YouTuber, right?
Yep. YouTube suspends Logan Paul's ad revenue and then blames recent pattern of behavior.
Okay, so this
Like,
one
that'll do it.
This one doesn't need much discussion. We're going to tell you short Logan Paul. Right?
Yeah.
Short Logan Paul. That's easy. What else we
He's a
got?
bad guy. Well, let me just read this one. I don't know if we're going to be able to make money off of it. A suspected big cat poacher has been eaten by lions near the Kruger National Park in South Africa.
Oh.
Our South African listener.
Okay, so
South American.
Yeah,
South
one.
Something.
both
listener.
same. Connor, actually, I'm going to argue we already made money off of that because remember earlier in the segment where we told our listeners to short meat?
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I want to be clear. If the meat is found in the wild, not on like a farm with wood, then you can eat it. But yeah, zoo is definitely not in the wild.
The zoo is not. Safari parks, zoos, academic institutions.
National parks, not the wild.
National parks, the savannah, I'd even argue, because honestly, once it's
Philadelphia.
appropriated by The Lion King 1, 1.5, and 2, it's not wild anymore. It's a
Oh,
tourist
no.
attraction.
Yep. It is a tourist trap.
It's a tourist trap. So we're going to, on our short list, we're going to drop savannas on there right next to unnatural meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't try to kill animals.
Not at all. Bad idea. Really bad idea.
Oh, this is a good one.
What do we have?
Military veterans defied Jeff Sessions' fight for medical marijuana to kick opioid addiction.
Interesting. Interesting.
I don't
So-
even know what that means.
I'm not sure why they're fighting. This
But it
sounds
has
like an unfair
marijuana in it.
advantage. They fought in the military and now they're fighting against Jeff Sessions, who has not fought in the military. It sounds like an unfair
Canadian
fight.
in that name.
It sounds like an unfair fight, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Did you ask me? I couldn't.
No.
Okay, fine.
But I mean,
it's not important then.
marijuana, and I don't know if you can use that to win wars, Jeff. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree there.
Really?
I'm going to disagree there.
What's your take?
I'm going to argue that. Actually, I just ran the simulation in my head, and I'm going to change to an agree.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we'll just move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And this one I feel strongly about. What is the best type of material to drink out of, would you say?
So this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say, honest to God, all natural PVC.
I'd argue that's an unpopular opinion.
Okay. Make the argument.
Well, just because that's second on my list, and I put foam cups at number 1.
Oh.
So we have reason to believe you should short Dunkin' Donuts this week.
Oh.
Dunkin' Donuts to eliminate foam cups worldwide in 2020. Don't know what their motivation is.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I've seen this once. I've seen this when Starbucks declared war on Christmas. Dunkin' Donuts declaring war on foam. Sell, sell, sell. This time next week, you are not going to be wanting to hold Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Holding Dunkin' Donuts right now is like holding
hold
cyanide.
a foam cup to your lips.
Yeah. What does America love more than foam cups? Nothing.
Yeah, foam cups is our bread and butter.
Joe Biden. Maybe Joe Biden. What does America love more than foam cups and Joe Biden? The answer to that one is nothing. The answer to that one is nothing.
The answer to that one is nothing. That's the fact of the matter,
Yeah.
not the opinion of the matter.
I think we got time for one more of these.
All right, well, we'll have to find a good one to end on.
Oh, it's going to have to be real good here.
Well, we can't make money on that one. Well, we could short the education system. Openly gay teacher fired after posting wedding pictures on social media.
So was that Florida or was that Louisiana?
Alabama.
Alabama, okay. I'm going to argue that the
I'm not even gonna
education
check.
system has already shorted itself.
Yeah, it's not exactly the smartest system.
Yeah.
Well, we have time for. We need to finish on a bang.
Yeah, we don't want to leave you guys with something where you don't have any room to make some profit. So we're gonna get a big fish. I'm talking tilapia.
Okay. Ever heard of net neutrality?
Once or twice, yeah.
Well, Comcast sues Vermont after the state requires the company to expand its network. I feel bad for Comcast, quite frankly.
Yeah, you always feel bad for the.
Is this a socialist economy?
Yeah, it's like they just don't get how things work.
Yeah. I have a hunch we're going to go out on this show pretty limp.
Yeah.
Not with a bang.
Yeah, but honestly, here's the thing: okay. No $1 million ideas today. I'm sorry, we can't have them every day. Otherwise, we'd have too much money. But what did we have
and
for you?
then we'd be paying taxes.
We'd be paying taxes. We're not
right?
trying. Today's broadcast is more of a capital gains avoidance strategy broadcast. Buy MoviePass, buy AMD, long prisons.
Long.
Delta?
Delta.
Long Delta. And short cars.
Netflix.
Short Netflix.
Long. Not meat foods.
Not meat foods, unless
Not
they're from the
tasty
wild.
food. Yeah.
And Bitcoin.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. So that's that's the docket for today. Go out there this week, buy everything you can, sell everything you own, break into your parents' house, sell their fine china so you can buy this Bitcoin, because I'm telling you it's going nowhere but to the moon.
Take out as much credit as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final quote of the day. Go back to Bernie Madoff.
That was, yeah.
Owe the bank 100,000, you have a problem. Owe the bank 100 million, the bank has a problem.
Bless up. All right, this is High IQ Investing signing off.
See you next week.